honest with you. And so I would not want to do that. Like I have a level 50 like Kitasan Black, and so I wouldn't want to change that. And Ukraine is strong in the game until they get their whole territory back. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, as I said before, I think that there's a very, very good probability that Ukraine's going to have to give up territory. I've said this before. I'll say it again. And it seems like that's going to be that's the most likely outcome. But I'm not really sure about that. I don't know about that. I'm just guessing, right? So we're going to have to wait and see. How's your dad? Oh, he's doing all right. I talked to him a little bit ago today, actually, and before I started my stream, because I was like, oh, I'm going to call him earlier since I'm going to start earlier. So, yeah, everything's fine. And, yeah, Putin will never stop regardless. I don't know. I mean, I think that, you know, everybody has a breaking point and everybody has, like, a win condition. So as soon as you can identify that, then you can work within those confines to, you know, come up with a solution. So, yeah. Putin is old. He'll stop at some point. Yeah, but Trump's a lot older than Putin is, to be honest. Like, Putin's like in his 60s. Trump's almost 80. So, yeah, they're running out of manpower. It'll be GG soon. Yeah, I think so. Putin's a sick old man. I don't know if he's sick. I have no idea about that. I have no idea. Have you spoken to Twitch at all with the constant Fs from yesterday? No, I haven't. Putin's 72? Wow, I didn't know that. Damn, he's in good shape. Yeah, I didn't know. I thought he was in his 60s. Yeah, I had no idea. Yeah, shit. They say he has cancer, maybe, but there's plenty of people that tank that and get through it just fine. Like, I actually was kind of surprised to hear like how much people can like get through cancer nowadays. Because like, you know, historically, right, cancer is like okay, you've got this long or that long, but like now they have ways to get rid of it for all kinds of people, and especially if you're like a head of state, right, you're gonna have like state of the art, you know, like pun intended, I guess, state of the art, you know, healthcare. You're gonna have the best options. He has a lot of doubles. Yeah, I don't know about that, but we'll see. It was a death sentence time limit. Yeah, it was. I would have guessed like 57. Yeah, I thought he was like 60, 61 or something like that. 62, so about 10 years younger. Why does Putin need to stop? It's so crazy to hear whining liberals 10k miles away tried to dictate foreign countries how should they conduct themselves. Well, I mean, I don't think anybody in the world wants to have this happen, right? I mean, I don't think you need liberals. I feel like this is something that most people are aligned on, that they want Putin to stop doing it. So I don't know what to say. We've come a long way with treatment, not fear we cured, but a crazy difference in previous decades. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what's going to happen. Watch the new British Lander latest video. Oh yeah, I did say I was going to watch that. Let me see if I can pull that up and look at it. Give me 1 second. Yeah, nothing's really happening with this yet. Where the hell did that even go? Most sane people dislike war. Yeah, I don't think that there's necessarily, like, you don't need to be a liberal to have that opinion. I'm sorry to say. No, it's not that one. Where'd it go? And anyway, yeah, that's at least what I think, right? I think there's going to be a lot of people that feel that way and think about this. Yeah, this is the political revolution one. Yeah, I'll watch this. Give me just a little bit, and I want to focus on this first. I mean, I do worry about West will be fighting directly with Russia. Wait, what the hell is this? Oh my god. It's probably bullshit, to be honest with you. But we'll see. Tomorrow's Gamescom? Yeah, tomorrow's a really big day, man. Like, I'm actually kind of surprised it's this soon. It doesn't feel like it is. I feel like we haven't had a lot of gaming news for a while, actually. Like, it's been maybe a few months that we haven't really had much gaming stuff happen. Like, when was the last... Like, I feel like Donkey Kong was the last big release, right? And that was, like, last month or something. So, all Unreal 6 nonsense? Well, no. I'm a big fan of Unreal 5. Battlefield? Yeah, but that's a beta, though, right? I mean, I wouldn't compare it to that. So, yeah, Kirby. I don't see anybody play Kirby. Not everyone blames Putin for this. I feel like there's a lot of things that have happened. But, yeah, have you heard the new Indian Souls-like game? I did, and I look forward to playing it, although it doesn't look that amazing. Tomorrow they're going to finally announce... We're finally going to get informed about Dragon's Dogma 2 DLC. You're bullshitting? You're bullshitting? Yeah, you're bullshitting. Sorry. I'm not seeing it, man. Yeah, that's Cope. I think it's Cope too. Like, I love that game. Like, I'm like level 200 or something like that in the game. So like, I played it a lot. Like, a lot of my stats are like yellow, which means that they're like capped out. I didn't finish everything though. Where Winds Meet is going to be huge. Well, a funny thing about that game, Where Winds Meet, I've actually got a sponsor to play it. I'm going to have an early access version of the game to play it in like a week or something like that. So that's going to be happening kind of soon. And I'm excited for that. I'm very excited for that. So yeah, we're going to get into that and try it out, see what happens. Haven't yet to play, but oh, is it happening again? No, not yet. Did you like Dragon's Dogma 2 or New Monster Hunter more? Probably Monster Hunter I thought was a better game. I probably put more hours into, well, I don't know. Let me see. Oh, they updated the game. What is this? Oh, loading screen. Oh, yeah, I had that happen. Let me see. So Dragon's Dogma 2, I played for 112 hours. And then Monster Hunter, I played for 119 hours. So, yeah, I guess you would say Monster Hunter Wilds is slightly more popular. But I would say also, I played Dragon's Dogma 1 more than either of them. I played this game a lot. I like Dragon's Dogma 1 more than Dragon's Dogma 2. Yeah, it was a better game. Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen was a better game than Dragon's Dogma 2. In pretty much every single way. Minus, like, obviously graphics and maybe 2 other things. So, yeah. What's your favorite video game ever? Classic WoW. Classic WoW is my favorite video game ever. Besides that, like my pantheon of video games would be Classic WoW, Dark Souls 1, Elden Ring, Halo 1, Legend of Zelda, Link to the Past. I feel like that's pretty much where we're at, right? I'm Mario. Yeah, Super Mario World. Yeah, I love that game. That game was really, really fun. I'd say that too. Path of Exile? Yeah, maybe PoE would be up there too, I would say. And I think that's like my top 5. If you get into my top 10, I would absolutely have Clear Obscure up there, like Expedition 33. 100% I would. And besides that, I don't know, a couple of other games. Yoshi's Island would probably be up there. Super Mario 3. Super Mario 3 is insanely, like, it's crazy how good that game was for its time. Super Mario 3 was like, Super Mario World was basically just Super Mario Brothers 3, but with better graphics. It was really Super Mario Brothers 3 that really innovated and changed things. Mass Effect 2, never played it actually. Halo 2 started the whole genre of online games. That's not true, but Halo 2 made online gaming mainstream. Like, it brought it to a mainstream console audience. Like, Halo, how many of you guys was Halo 2 your first online?
All right. It's me.
For me, Halo 2 was the big one. Metroid 4, haven't played it. Yeah, absolutely. Look at all those me's, right? I mean, need I say more, right? So there you go. God on the original Xbox? I do too, man. I don't even know where my Xbox is. I think I lost it or something. Finished Cyberpunk?
All right.
Do that. I was talking to somebody about that, and eventually that will happen. I just don't know necessarily when, but one day it will. The new Roblox video is a mess. The editor needs to fix the audio and stuttering. Yeah, sorry about that. We had a lot of bad connection issues yesterday with the stream, and I don't really know why that happened. It's just the way it goes, right? I mean, it's Assassin's Creed 2. I've never played an Assassin's Creed game before Assassin's Creed Shadows. And I'm going to be honest, Assassin's Creed Shadows was so bad that I didn't finish it. Like, I even almost finished Dragon Age Veilguard. Now, this is not an accurate amount of time that I played the game. I just left the game on a few nights. So the play numbers are inflated. But I even almost finished Dragon Age the Veilguard. I finished Avowed. Yeah, I did. I finished Avowed too. And I just could not finish Assassin's Creed Shadows. It was such a terrible game. It was such a horrible fucking game, man. Veilguard is more fun. Yeah, Veilguard was way better. Like, I'm not even kidding. It was not even remotely close. It was just infinitely better. How many hours in Elden Ring? I only have, like, 420 hours in Elden Ring. So, like, not a lot, but I have a good amount. And besides that, I mean, there's just a lot of these games that I just haven't really... I haven't played all the way. Like, I played this game. This game was okay. It was a little bit one-dimensional. This game was really good. I feel like Enshrouded is like... Enshrouded came out at the same time that Pow World did, and because of that, I think it kind of got it got overshadowed. You could say it got enshrouded by Pow World. And yeah, you played Neo yet? No, but I want to play Neo 2 in anticipation for Neo 3. I played the Neo 3 beta. It was really fun. I don't want to play it again though, because I had to play it on PS5, and I want to play on PC. Like I'm a PC gamer, man, and so that's all I want to do. How many brain cells did you lose from playing Roblox? I wish I knew, man. Did you beat Conquest Dark? Oh yeah, yeah. Like my character in Conquest Dark, like I can beat the boss in like a minute or something like that, and it's like the builds in that game are like I probably should talk to the developer about it, because like a lot of the builds are kind of like focusing on kind of a gimmick. How many brain cells did you lose? Other than that, I think it's a good game, right? I mean, I'll tell you guys this, right? Like Hellclock and Conquest Dark as games performed so phenomenally well, I was shocked. And a lot of the other people at Mad Mushroom were shocked too. Like everybody over there is very, very happy with how well the games have performed. And, you know, we had really great development teams and everybody involved. And so there it is. Good to hear. Absolutely, man. Yeah, the connection issues were weird. Yeah, no doubt. And I don't know what it was. Hellclock's an awesome game. Yeah, it was very, very successful. Like, I think it peaked at like 600 players, and we still have people that are like buying the game and everything, and so it's great. I'm very happy about it. Is it starting yet? No, but it will be soon. Okay. Connect Elgato capture card to PC to stream PS5 to Twitch. I only typed this once, don't ban. I know how to stream to PS5 to Twitch. I have a I have all that set up. It's not a big deal. Like I have my Nintendo Switch, my PS5 set up. I have everything set up with a 2 PC setup. It's not a big deal. It's actually very simple to do. How much longer, Papa? I wish I knew. I thought it was supposed to happen already. Hassan's calling you an awful, monstrous sociopath? Well, tell him I said thanks. I appreciate that. And anyway, let's see.
All right.
Yeah, when is this gonna happen?
All right, guys. Whoa.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell this is. They're in a meeting? Right. Yeah, still? Yeah, I guess so. I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens. You missed the first meeting? Yeah, we're going to watch it after this one is over. I didn't want to, like, I didn't want to start watching it and then have to pause it if something comes up or something happens. Make a bingo card? You think so? Oh, what's going on with this? Is there audio? Oh, here we go. Maybe? Everybody's putting their cameras on. Well, that guy just took his camera off. Who knows? You play Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater? What day does that come out? Yeah, what day does that game come out? '28th? Yeah, I'll play it. Yeah. Something short? What's this? Oh, Monster Hunter. I did see this. They said they're fixing the PC issues. We're committed to listening to your feedback on both performance and stability. I mean, targeting a free title update for winter. I mean, like, yeah, it's not normal to wait 1 year to at least get a small amount of PC optimization. Yeah, exactly, bro. He's totally right. It's crazy how long this has taken. And yeah, I mean, I'm glad they're fixing it, and I'll play it when it, like, I have a really good PC. Like, I have a Starforge PC, and so it's like fucking perfect. I never have graphics issues with any game ever. However, you know, Monster Hunter is like, most people don't have that PC. Hashtag ad. I'm just telling you, right? I mean, like, I'm not lying. You just watch the videos. Yeah, that's it. That's all there is to it. Yeah, Starforge any good? I think they're great. Nah, I think they're great. That's it. Way too long already.
All right. Ah, here it is.
Hello, everybody. Now understand.
Alright, got that fixed.
That was not a great day. See the picture. Is
All right.
everything okay? You all set? Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
That is stand there for a photo op? Alright. Get a move on. Oh, ain't that annoying. Yeah, nobody cares.
That's what's happening right now.
There's only one, the whole. When you add
Oh,
it
we're
all up.
hearing Trump. Hey, thanks, Chili23, for the memberships. Thank you. They're talking.
Free Palestine in the frickin' chat. What a bunch of nerds.
We'll let the press
Waiting
come
for
in.
the half.
Please.
Thank you.
Rid of that shit. Do I have captions on?
He's a tall guy. Good looking.
I never walked in beer. I prefer Polonic. I prefer Polonic.
Very good. I don't know where to put my snack. Right there's good. I think this will go well.
Isn't it it's such an incredible place. Well, we're building a big, a bowl. Beautiful. Right here. If you go, it would be right through that. Right through.
These must be the translators back here. I'm taking it.
It's going to be, I'll tell you, but it's going to be fantastic, actually.
Oh, that can end.
Audio go. Oh, here, now the
I
audio's
think we're
back.
going to have a successful talk today. Feel like it? Huh? See. Hi, Mark. Yeah, good. Well, thank you very much. It's a great honor to have you here. Special place. White House is special no matter where you're from. Represents so much, and it really is beautiful. And thank you for all of the wonderful things that took place today. We've had a very successful day thus far, and important discussions as we work to end the killing and stop the war in Ukraine. We're all working for the same goal, very simple goal. We want to stop the killing, get this settled. I've just had the honor of being with President Zelenskyy and all of the discussions that we've had. We covered a lot of territory, and I spoke indirectly with President Putin today. We're going to call President Putin right after this meeting. I'm sure we're going to have a solid meeting, good meeting, maybe a great meeting, and we're going to try and work out a trilat after that and see if we can get it finished, put this to sleep, because this is not since the Second World War has there been anything like this. So I'm honored to welcome NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte, who's a great gentleman, great political leader in Europe generally, but now he's the NATO Secretary General, and you're doing a fantastic job. Thank you very much, Mark. Prime Minister Starmer of the United Kingdom, our friend and my friend, and doing really well, and people like him a lot. We all like him. Everyone knows President Macron of France, who's been with me from the beginning, one of the first people I met as a foreign dignitary, and I liked him from day one. And I like him even more now. That's pretty good. That's unusual. That's a pretty unusual thing. Prime Minister Meloni of Italy, who's a great leader and an inspiration over there. She's served now, even though she's a very young person, she's served there for a long period of time relative to others. They don't last very long. You've lasted a long time. You're going to be there a long time. Chancellor Merz of Germany, who is a very strong person and a very strong leader and very highly respected in Germany. And he's my friend, and it's an honor to have him as my friend. Thank you very much. Very good. You look great with your tan. Where did you get that tan? I want to get a tan like that.
That's true.
President Stubb of Finland, and he's somebody that, where are we here? Where? I'm right here. Oh. You look better than I've ever seen you look. But you've done a great job, and we wanted to have you here because you're somebody that we all respect. And you've had a lot to do with the success, I think, and the potential success. And thank you very much for being here. We appreciate it. And the President of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen, who is somebody that we just made a big deal with all of those countries. I don't know. I think you might be more powerful than all these guys at this table. I don't know. But we had a great negotiation, and you're respected all over the world. So I want to thank you very much for being here. It's a great honor to have you. The Alaska summit reinforced my belief that while difficult, peace is within reach, and I believe that in a very significant step, President Putin agreed that Russia would accept security guarantees for Ukraine, and this is one of the key points that we need to consider, and we're going to be considering that at the table also, like who will do what, essentially. I'm optimistic that collectively we can reach an agreement that would deter any future aggression against Ukraine, and I actually think there won't be. I think that's even overrated, largely overrated, but we're going to find out.
Yeah.
And I think that the European nations are going to take a lot of the burden. We're going to help them, and we're going to make it very secure. We also need to discuss the possible exchanges of territory, taking into consideration the current line of contact. That means the war zone, the war lines that are Pretty obvious, very sad actually to look at them. And negotiating positions, President Putin, also you have President of Ukraine.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Who is, you just met a little while ago, and we're going to try and get a three-party meeting, maybe as soon as we can. And I have a feeling you and President Putin are going to work something out.
Yeah, damn
Ultimately,
right.
this is
Little
a
man.
decision that can only be made by President Zelenskyy and by the people of Ukraine working also together in agreement with President Putin. And I just think that's very good things are going to come of it. So I hope we have a good meeting. And if we can have a good meeting, I'll set up a meeting with President Putin. And if you'd like, I'll go to that meeting. And not that I want to do that, but I will do that because we want to save a lot of people from dying. A lot of people are dying, and we got to save them. Got to save it. 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 people sometimes a week. All of us would obviously prefer an immediate ceasefire while we work on a lasting peace, and maybe something like that could happen. As of this moment, it's not happening, but President Zelenskyy and President Putin can talk a little bit more about that. You know, in the 6 or so wars that we stopped, we haven't had a ceasefire. And so I don't know that it's necessary. You can do it through the war, but it would be, I like the ceasefire from another standpoint. You immediately stop the killing. But I believe a peace agreement at the end of all of this is something that's very attainable, and it can be done in the near future. With all of the wars that I got involved in, we only have this one left. Of course, as I walk out the door, there'll probably be a new one starting, and I'll get that stopped too. But I thought this was going to be one of the easier ones. It's actually one of the most difficult. They're very complex. The next step would be for a trilateral meeting, and that will be worked out. And I just look forward to working and having a great result. We're going to spend a lot of time today talking about, and we're really honored you guys came over. I mean, these are the heads of major countries and respected all over Europe. And they speak for, largely, I think I should say, but pretty much for the other countries of Europe. And we will come to a resolution today, I think, on almost everything, including probably the security. And that's pretty much the story. I'd like to say, Mr. President, would you like to say something? You have the media. If you want, you could come over and you could stand, you could use mine, or you could just turn around, whichever you feel comfortable with.
Thank you so much. I can speak without microphone. Thank you so much. I think that we had very good conversation with President Trump.
Very good.
Damn right you did.
It really was the best one. Or sorry, maybe the best one will be in the future. But it was really good. And we spoke about very sensitive points. The first one is security guarantees. And we are very happy with President that all the leaders are here, and security in Ukraine depends on the United States and on you and on those.
I think you should have to pay for that security,
in our
like
hearts,
per soldier
online before
or
yesterday and etc. So
per equipment, depending on the equipment, at least $1 billion. If it's a soldier, $1 billion. Piece of equipment, $1 billion.
Stop this war. We spoke about it, and
per
we
month.
will speak more about security guarantees. This is very important that the United States gives such strong signal and is ready for security guarantees. The second point, or maybe the first, the humanitarian direction, very important to exchange all the prisoners, and I think that President will help, and I was very thankful.
Yeah, they'll exchange presidents just fine, or not presidents, prisoners.
Letter about our abducted children, and I hope that really it can be a historic role for the people to bring kids back to the families and be happy at
Get
their
the people
families.
back, yeah.
Yes, this is so important, and I'm happy that we discussed it, this track with the President Trump, and I hope that we will find decisions. And then what is very important.
I'm glad all these guys can speak fairly good English. All these people here at the table, all these leaders.
Of leaders during trilateral meeting, and President Trump will try to organize such meeting, and he said that he will come or not come. Ukraine will be happy if you will
both
participate.
Want me there, I will be there. Yeah,
Yeah,
you know that.
thank you. And I think this is very important. Yes, so security guarantees bringing kids back and all our people, not only warriors, first of all warriors.
That
and
table's
all the
gotta
civilians,
have a metal
journalists,
plate
a lot of
underneath
people
it.
in prison. So we need them back. And
I think it
guarantees
spanned
which will
so
work for
far.
years. We spoke about it.
Oh, no,
and
there's a column
I
right there.
showed the president a lot of details on the battlefield, on the map. Thank you so much. Thank you for the map, by the way.
Good map.
It was great. Yeah. I'm thinking how to take it back.
We'll get you.
No. I think that we had constructive, specific meeting, and I'm very thankful to
It's good.
all the leaders who are here, and you help a lot, and so we are happy that we have such big unity.
Dude just looks so upset being in America,
Mr. President,
being in
I think
freedom.
you'll see that President Putin really would like to do something else. I think when we set that up, when we do, I think it's going to be when, not if. I think you're going to see some really
Watch this
positive
guy
moves.
have his guys
I know
launch an
there's
attack
over
on
1,000
Russia.
prisoners, and I know they're going to release them maybe
Right
gonna
after
release
this.
them very soon, like immediately, which I think is great. But we're going to set that up today after this meeting. So very good and great remarks. I appreciate it. Mark, as head of NATO, maybe you could say a few words, please.
Yes, I will be very brief. I really want to thank you, President of the United States, dear Donald, for the fact that you, as I said before, broke the deadlock basically with President Putin by starting that dialogue. And I think it was in February that you had the first phone call. And from there, we are now where we are today. And that is, I think, if we play this well, we could end this. And we have to end this. We have to stop the killing. We have to stop the destruction of Ukraine's infrastructure. It is a terrible war. I'm really excited. And let's make the best out of today.
I mean, that should happen like
from today
a while
onwards,
ago.
we get this thing to an end as soon as possible. I really want to thank you for your leadership, what you are doing for Volodymyr, but of course also all the European colleagues. It is really crucial. And the fact that you have said, I'm willing to participate in the security guarantees is a big step. It's really a breakthrough, and it makes all the difference. So also thank you for that.
Well, NATO also has agreed from 2% to 5%, which is something that is a massive amount of money. And it's 2% that wasn't always paid to 5% that is paid. That's a big difference. And so we appreciate that. Great move. Thank you very much. Ursula, maybe on
2% that
Commission,
wasn't
you could
even
say a
always
couple of
paid to
words.
5% that's going to be
Thank
paid.
you very much.
Nice.
It's a pleasure to be here, and it's a very important moment. Indeed, we are here, Europeans, as friends and allies. We had a fantastic NATO summit.
Allies.
Together as the two
nobody really like you guys.
biggest economies in the world. We had the largest trade deal ever agreed. And now we are here to work together with you on a just and lasting peace for Ukraine. Stop the killing. This is really our common interest, stop the killing. And indeed, it's very good to hear that we're working on the security guarantees, Article 5 lies security guarantees, so important. But I want to thank you also that you mentioned the thousands of Ukrainian children that have been abducted. And as a mother and grandmother, every single child has to go back to its family. This should be one of our main priorities also in these negotiations, to make sure that the children come back to Ukraine, to their families.
I doubt Putin's
for a
gonna
different reason, but
keep kids,
we just
even
a
if
couple
he
of weeks ago made the largest trade deal in
is.
history. So that's a big thing, and congratulations. That's great. Thank you very much, Ursula. Mr. Chancellor from Germany, a very great leader.
Mr. President,
Please.
dear Donald, many thanks for having us today. I think this is extremely helpful that we are meeting and hearing that the two of you are having such a good meeting today here in Washington. The next steps ahead are the more complicated ones now. The path is open. You opened it last Friday. But now the way is open for complicated negotiations. And to be honest, we all would like to see a ceasefire, the latest from the next meeting on. I can't imagine that the next meeting would take place without a ceasefire. So let's work on that, and let's try to put pressure on Russia, because the credibility of these efforts we are undertaking.
The
today
dude ain't gonna make a
on
promise
at
that
least the
he know won't be
ceasefire
kept.
From the beginning of the serious negotiations from next step on. So I would like to emphasize this aspect and would like
Because
to see
he can't trust
ceasefire from
Zelenskyy.
the next,
Nobody
meeting,
can.
Which should be a trilateral meeting wherever it takes place.
Well, we're going to let the president go over and talk to the president, and we'll see how that works out, and if we can do that.
Yeah.
I will say, and again, I say it, in the 6 wars that I've settled, I haven't had a ceasefire. We just got into negotiations, and one of the wars was, as you know, in the Congo was 31 years long. Another one that we settled last week with 2 great countries was 35 years going
Talking
on.
himself
and we had
up,
no ceasefire.
like usual.
So if we can do the ceasefire, great.
Jesus.
And if we don't do a ceasefire, because many other points were given to us, many points were given to us, great points. Please, Georgia, go ahead.
Well, thank you very much, Donald, Mr. President, for hosting us today in this important meeting. And I think it is an important day, a new phase, after 3 years and a half that we didn't see any kind of sign from the Russian side that there was a willing for dialogue. So something is changing, something has changed, thanks to you, thanks also to the stalling in the battlefield, which was achieved with the bravery of Ukrainians and with the unity that we all provided to Ukraine. And the reason why I mention it is that we also have to remind
never even got involved.
that if we want to reach peace and if we want to guarantee justice, we have to do it united. So that's why it's a very good day, the one
we ain't charged Putin with war crimes.
On Italy, as it was from the beginning. We are on the side of Ukraine.
Come on, say it.
Do absolutely support your efforts towards peace. We will talk about many important topics. The first one is security guarantees, how to be sure that it won't happen again, which is the precondition of every kind of peace. I'm happy that we will discuss about that. I'm happy that we will begin from a proposal, which is the, let's say, Article 5 model, which was Italian at the beginning. So we are always ready to bring our proposals for peace, for dialogue. It's something we have to
Her
build,
Excellency.
together.
Georgia
Meloni,
Meloni.
to defend the security of our nation.
More
So
like
thank you,
baloney.
Mr. President, for hosting us.
My bad.
Thank you very much. Emmanuel?
Thank you, Mr. President.
Oh, this is to do with the
this meeting and for
it's to do with the man wife or whatever.
Everything was said, but I have to say,
Candace Owens
I
always
just have to
ragging
say
on
here,
them.
Everybody around this table is in favor of peace. And we work very hard, and we've worked very hard during the past few years to have a peace which is a robust and long-standing peace. This is why the idea of a trilateral meeting is very important, because this is the only way to fix it. And by the way, I think as a follow-up, we would need probably a quadrilateral meeting, because when we speak about security guarantees, we speak about the whole security of the European continent. And this is why we are all united here with Ukraine on this matter. In order to organize such a trilateral meeting, your idea to ask for a truce or a ceasefire, at least to stop the killings, as we discussed, is a necessity. And we all support this idea. And in order to have such a long-standing peace,
I bet you
Ukraine,
he's been
for the
listening
whole
to them talk about
we do need this
these
security
fires
guarantees.
for the last like 2 hours
And the first one
in
is
private
clearly
meeting.
a credible Ukrainian army for the years and decades to come. And the
These
second
are
one is
children that have never
our
actually
commitment, all of us. And we worked
been
very
able to
hard during
come
the
up with
past few
agreements
months
with anybody and don't
among the
understand
coalition of the willings with the
actual
support of NATO
warfare.
to build the different pillars of security guarantees and our commitments. And you can be sure that Europeans are very lucid about the fact that they have their fair share in these security guarantees for Ukraine, but their own security is clearly at stake in this situation. So you can count on us, as we can count on you, in order to deliver this robust peace for both Ukraine and Europe. Thank you.
Very much, Emmanuel. Mr. Prime Minister?
Thank you very much, Mr. President, and thank you for hosting us here. Can I start where Emmanuel started, which is we all want peace. The war in Ukraine has had a huge impact, particularly on the Ukrainians who've borne the brunt of it, but it's also had an impact on Europe and on the United Kingdom. There's not a family or community that hasn't been affected. And when we talk about security, we're talking about the security not just of Ukraine, we're talking about the security of Europe and the United Kingdom as well, which is why this is such an important issue. I think this is such an important meeting. As a group, I think we've had a discussion on the phone a number of times, Mr. President, but be able now to be around the table to take it forward. And I really feel that we can, I think, with the right approach this afternoon, make real progress, particularly on the security guarantees, and your indication of security guarantees of some sort of Article 5 style guarantees fits with what we've been doing with the Coalition of the Willing, which we started some months ago, bringing countries together and showing that we were prepared to step up to the plate when it came to security. With you coming alongside, the US alongside what we've already developed, I think we could take a really important step forward today. A historic step, actually, could come out of this meeting in terms of security for Ukraine and security in Europe. I also feel that we can make real progress towards a just and lasting outcome. Obviously, that has to involve Ukraine, and a trilateral meeting seems the sensible next step. So thank you for being prepared to take that forward, because I think if we can ensure that that is the progress out of this meeting, both security guarantees and some sort of progress on trilateral meeting of some sort to bring some of the difficult issues to a head, then I think today will be seen as a very important day in recent years in relation to a conflict which has gone on for 3 and a bit years, and so far nobody's been able to bring it to this point. So I thank you for that.
Well, thank you very much. And, you know, it's very interesting because this is the first for the White House. You can't say that very often. It's seen a lot over the years, since 1800, 1799, to be almost exact. But this is the first where we've had so many prime ministers, presidents, the heads of European nations. And by the way, Alex, I'd like you to say a couple of words, too. You're a young, powerful man. Before I finish up, I want you to say a couple of words. Go ahead.
I'll take the notion of youth back to my wife and try to convince her. Thank you very much, Mr. President. I think in the past 2 weeks, we've probably had more progress in ending this war than we have in the past 3.5 years. And I think the fact that we're around this table today is very much symbolic in the sense that it's Team Europe and Team United States helping Ukraine. And the progress that we're looking out of this meeting is about the security guarantees, which are a big part of this. And then, of course, moving towards a process with a trilateral meeting with you and President Putin and President Zelenskyy. Some of the international media might wonder, why is the President of Finland here? I think the reason is probably that we might come from a small country, but we have a long border with Russia, over 800 miles. And we, of course, have our own historical experience with Russia from World War II, the Winter War and the War of Continuation. And if I look at the silver lining of where we stand right now, we found a solution in 1944, and I'm sure that we'll be able to find a solution in 2025 to end Russia's war of aggression and find and get a
war of aggression,
lasting and just peace. The situation is very difficult, but that's why we're here.
Thank you, Alex, very much. Good job. So we're going to be meeting for a while, and we're going to discuss some of the issues. And I don't think there's any issue that's overly complex. It's at a point now where people want to do things. I really do believe. I've known him for a long time. I've always had a great relationship with him. I think that President Putin wants to find an answer too, and we'll see. And in a certain period of time, not very far from now, a week or 2 weeks, we're going to know whether or not we're going to solve this, or is this horrible fighting going to continue. We'll do our best to get it ended. And I believe you have 2 willing parties, and usually that's good news, but 2 willing parties that want to make a deal. And we'll journey together, and we'll go over and we'll see if it can be done. And it's possible it might not be able to be done. On the other hand, it's possible it will. And we're going to save thousands and thousands of lives a week. And so it's something we really have to do. And, or at least we have to give it our best. It's all you can do. You can give it your best. But I think we may have a very good outcome. So I want to thank you all, and the media, I want to thank you. We're going to be staying here for a little while. Then we're going to walk over to the Oval Office, and we're going to have another little discussion about similar matters. And then they're going to go home to their great countries and report. And I'm going to remain here and work, and you're going to go and work. We're all going to be working. We may be in a different location, but that's what we know how to do is work. But I want to thank the media. Has been actually very fair, generally speaking, very fair. I think it's important that they're fair because this is a very important subject. We have to get it ended, and so that's all we ask for is fairness with the media. Thank you all very much. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Look at that. They're all, they all...
All the time.
But he loves it. He loves it. For he does it always. I never want to speak with my friend.
He's a very good player, golfer, you know.
Yeah, I know.
He went to college.
But he says you always win.
Alright, that was interesting. Not much. I'm looking forward to the Oval Office talks and everything. My internet's broken or something.
Then
That's very, it's not a lot happened. Like I don't get it. They just all said the same thing. Ceasefire this.
Trump said he thought
civilians and kids this.
Within a week or two, whether a deal could get done. That's what.
Blah blah blah. Like there's actually no deal or anything going on. Oh, it seems like a waste of time.
Sorry, I'm just making sure I'm getting everything organized here with the cameras and everything. Yeah, what we just saw is them talking before their meeting. President Trump met with Zelenskyy one-on-one. Zelenskyy said it was very good conversation. So now...
Zelenskyy just wants more of our money.
Trump meeting with Zelenskyy and European leaders. That's what's happening right now. Flynn thinks zero has changed. Look, I mean, I don't know. You know, I have no idea if there can be a deal reached. I have no idea if there's something that Putin and Zelenskyy will agree to.
Yeah, that's the biggest issue. Is Zelensky's a very hard guy to get through that. He doesn't have a standing military.
Now, checking the schedule,
and he really doesn't have any power. He doesn't really stand a chance in anything.
That was the last event on the schedule. Now, we could hear more from various people, but that was the last event on the day's official schedule. I mean, they're meeting now, but in terms of like the press appearances and stuff. So we'll have to see. I'm going to take some comments from you guys. What did you think? By the way, a quick thank you to Ebola from Denmark, who says that Putin wants Ukraine to not join NATO, and that was a reason for going to war. But now they're talking about reaching an Article 5-like security guarantee. Yeah, we discussed that yesterday.
Yeah, there's just no way
So
that NATO should give a security guarantee to Ukraine like that.
Article 5 is the part of the NATO charter, I believe it is, where they basically
I just think that's a bad idea.
One of us, then the others will defend it. So you hear them talking, the various European leaders, about an Article 5-like security guarantee. But I think I said yesterday, well, I can't imagine if whatever the security guarantee is, if it's exactly like NATO, I can't imagine Putin approving that, because Putin's problem is not that something is called NATO. His problem is the actual what NATO is.
The expansion of NATO and the EU, Putin does not want.
They want to look. This is this issue that hasn't been solved. It's all easy to say. Yeah, we'll come up with terms and it'll work, but what are the details? We don't have the details. From the summit, we don't know the details, at least publicly. We don't know the details about the security guarantees. So the problem is, you can say you're going to do these, you can come up with these different negotiating points. But is there a some sort of military support that the Allies can give Ukraine, which will make Ukraine feel safe enough to sign a deal with Russia, which will make Ukraine feel they're protected in the case that Russia wants to attack them 6 months or a year from now? Is there some kind of military support and security guarantee, whatever it is, that the Allies give to Ukraine that Putin will accept? And I don't know that that's the case, because it's got to be strong enough support so that Ukraine feels safe. But if it's too strong, Putin's going to object to it. So I don't know. This is again, it's all fine and good to say security guarantees, but we don't know the specifics. And that's the same with a lot of things. You can say, well, we'll exchange some land, but what are the specifics? We don't know. So we'll have to just see.
Here's what I think. Get in time machine and tell Ukraine that they need to make a deal with Russia, that Russia would protect the Ukraine from anything. They'd basically be their standing military. Like the U.S. is the standing military of all of Europe. And in return, Ukraine would give access to the Mediterranean and pipelines and blah, blah, blah.
I'm just saying.
But, what do I know? Oh, Russia wants to own that land. Yeah, the U.S. wants to own a lot of land, too. Like Greenland.
Raphael Lagonde thinks Trump has reached a deal already, and that Trump is presenting a plan to the leaders as a matter of courtesy, and that Europe is no longer a player.
The EU, NATO, US pushing Putin, the Russians, into China's
Putin doesn't want peace; he wants Ukraine.
Hands into China's agreements is nuts to me. Like, that's just bad.
Or if he makes a deal, does he really intend to stick to the deal? That's another question. We don't know. PK thinks Ukraine will not give away land.
Ukraine will not give away land. I hate to tell you this. You don't even got a standing military to say that. Even if China wanted to, they could take Ukrainian land. Like, I don't think you like. Do people not understand this? Here's a great map.
Institute for the Study of War. But what you can see here is, here's Ukraine, and you see Russia on the right, and then this is the Russian-controlled areas of Ukraine.
Mm-hmm.
And then see it says Donetsk here, Donetsk and Luhansk. There's some reporting that says, oh, you can't see what, hold on a second. You're not seeing my pointer. Now I think it's going to work. Now can you see my pointer?
I cannot see
there you go.
Russia giving up any of this. Giving his back.
Here, see? If you can see here, some of this area, so there's reporting that says, I don't know if it's true, that Putin told Trump that he wants this region, the Donbass region, and he wants the part, including the part that Ukraine forces still control. I don't think there's any world in which Ukraine gives up the part of Donbass that it still controls. The Institute for the Study of War said that this is very important defensively for Ukraine. They said that Russia does not have a good way militarily of taking it right now. And they said that if Ukraine were to give up this area that it still controls in Donbass, that would make Ukraine much more vulnerable to another Russian attack in the future.
You got to remember, do not underestimate your enemy. Like, it's a pretty simple Sun Tzu art of war. And it is in your enemy's favor to try to get you to underestimate them.
I do not know if Putin wants a deal. There's differing schools of thought on that.
I think Russia wants a deal. He's got his practice in. His military's got some logistical and actual training in this war. They're set to have at least another 10, 15 years without having to worry about major war training.
True. Although I don't know how it works if they're not formally giving up the land, if they're not saying it's Russia's land, and the deal just says we acknowledge that Russia occupies those areas, but we're not giving up our claim to the land. I don't know if that needs to be approved by a referendum.
People in this dude's chat saying Ukraine needs to be part of European Union, blah, 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 blah.
Almost immediately, if he wants to, which is.
Yeah, I think that's true. I think he'll.
Which is it? That's true. Is it this one or the other one? Yes. All right.
Have a meeting. I think if everything works out well today, we'll have a trilat. And I think there will be a reasonable chance of ending the war when we do that.
And, is this the end of the road for American support for Ukraine? Is today's meeting deal
obviously not.
Or no deal?
I can never say that. It's never the end of the road. People are being killed, and we want to stop that. So I would not say it's the end of the road. No, I think we have a good chance.
Everything is gold. Fucking look at this shit.
Of doing it. It's been almost 4 years now that a lot of people were killed last week. A lot of people last week. I mean, millions of people killed, but a lot of people last week for whatever reason. A big number, a lot of soldiers, on both sides. And I know the president, I know myself, and I believe Vladimir Putin wants to see it ended.
And as you met with Putin on Friday, today you've got President Zelenskyy here.
Yeah.
As you listen to Russia and Ukraine, which side has the better cards?
Well, I don't want to say that. I'm just.
They're actually baiting him so hard. Who has the? They really want him to do it again. They do.
I'm just here to be. Look, this isn't my war. This is Joe Biden's war. He's the one that.
Yep.
This happening, and we want to get it ended, and we want it to end good for everybody. We want it to end good. The people of Ukraine have suffered incredibly.
And to that point, President Zelensky, are you prepared to keep sending Ukrainian troops to their deaths for another couple years, or are you?
Bro.
God damn, that dude's baiting.
This guy's questions are crazy. Oh my God.
Going to agree to redraw the maps?
Thank you for your question. So, first of all,
thank you for your question. Yeah, right.
We live under each day attacks. You know that today have been a lot of attacks and a lot of wounded people, and the child was dead.
Yeah.
Small one year and a half. So we need to stop this war, to stop Russia, and we need support American and European partners. And we will do our best for this. So, and I think we show that we are strong people, and we supported the idea of the United States, of personally of President Trump, to stop this war, to make a diplomatic way of finishing this war, and we are ready for trilateral, as President said. This is a good signal about trilateral. I think this is
good, because I remember last time I think he said he wasn't on board with that, like he didn't want to do that. Now finally it's happening, and it looks like, you know, I could see this actually getting resolved at this point. Yeah.
Good. Thank you.
Mr. President. Isn't it crazy how Zelensky bent the knee? Not at all. He knows the position. Trump was right when Zelensky said when he told Zelensky he didn't have the cards. I mean, he shouldn't have said that publicly in front of everybody, but he was right. He was. And everybody knows it. And so, yeah, that's really it. I mean, this is coming from somebody who's, I'm a big Ukraine supporter, but like, it is what it is.
Yes, if the peace deal will be achieved, are you going to be willing to send American peacekeepers to Ukraine?
Ooh, good
We're going to work with Ukraine. We're going to work with everybody, and we're going to make sure that if there's peace, the peace is going to stay long term. This is very long term. We're not talking about a 2-year peace, and then we end up in this mess again. We're going to make sure that everything's good. We'll work with Russia. We're going to work with Ukraine, and we're going to make sure it works. And I think if we can get to peace, it's going to work. I have no doubt about it.
Your team has talked about security guarantees. Could that involve U.S. troops?
Does he only call on male reporters? Because like, there's all these women that will try to speak up. He's like, no. All right, go ahead. Another one from Peter. Let's get another one from Peter. Yeah.
You roll that out in the future?
Yeah. We'll let you know that maybe later today. We're meeting with 7 great leaders of great countries also, and we'll be talking about that. They'll all be involved, but there'll be a lot of help. When it comes to security, there's going to be a lot of help. It's going to be good. They are first line of defense because they're long term. This is very long term. We're not talking about a 2-year peace and then we end up in this mess again. We're going to make sure that everything's good. We'll work with Russia. We're going to work with Ukraine, and we're going to make sure it works. And I think if we can get to peace, it's going to work. I have no doubt about it.
Your team has talked about security guarantees. Could that involve U.S. troops? Would you roll that out in the future?
We'll let you know that maybe later today. We're meeting with 7 great leaders of great countries also, and we'll be talking about that. They'll all be involved, but there'll be a lot of help. When it comes to security, there's going to be a lot of help. It's going to be good. They are first line of defense because they're there. They're Europe, but we're going to help them out also. We'll be involved.
Mr. President, Vladimir Putin mentioned that the war will not end without addressing the root causes of this war. Have you had an understanding what are the root causes of this war?
Well, look, the war is going to end. When it ends, I can't tell you, but the war is going to end, and this gentleman wants it to end, and Vladimir Putin wants it to end. I think the whole world is tired of it, and we're going to get it ended. It was, I've done 6 wars. I've ended 6 wars, and I thought this maybe would be the easiest one, and it's not the easiest one. It's a tough one. A lot of reasons for it, and they'll be talking about it for a long time. But they'll be talking about the others. Look, India, Pakistan. We're talking about the big places. When you look at, you just take a look at some of these wars. You go to Africa and take a look at that. Rwanda and the Congo, Republic of the Congo. That's been going on for 31 years. And so we've done a total of 6, and we really have 6, not including the fact that we obliterated, and it turned out to be a total obliteration, the nuclear, as you said, the future nuclear capability of Iran. And this one, I think we're going to get solved also. I feel confident we're going to get it solved.
Thank you, Mr. President. Can you tell us about your conversations with European leaders and what they need to see to support an end to the war?
Yeah, well, we're going to be meeting with a great representative group and 7 very powerful, very big countries. And great people, all friends of mine and friends of yours. And we're going to have some suggestions made. They want to see peace. They would like to see peace.
President,
when in Russia?
you said last
in the red. In the red.
President Trump, do you think it's fair for Ukraine and for Russia to achieve a lasting and durable peace if Ukraine cedes its territories that Russia hasn't yet conquered? Do you think it's a fair peace for Ukraine?
We're going to have a lasting peace. Just to answer the first part of your question, we're going to have a lasting peace. I hope it's going to be immediately. I hope it doesn't have to go on. And I think people of the whole world is going to be very happy when that's announced.
Thank you, Mr. President. You posted on social media, Mr. President, a very touching letter from the First Lady, and the letter was hand-delivered to President Putin, and it calls for an end to the war, essentially, because of the children and the children's future. Why did the First Lady feel that letter was necessary? Was it because she believes that Mr. Putin is the aggressor in the war? Is a similar letter being hand-delivered to President Zelenskyy?
So the First Lady felt very strongly. She's watched the same thing that you watch and that I watch. I see things that you don't get to see, and it's horrible. But when she's got a great love of children, she has a wonderful son that she loves, probably more than anybody, including me. I hate to say it, but she loves her son. She loves children. And she hates to see something like this happening, and that goes for other wars too. I mean, she sees the heartbreak, the parents, the funerals that you see on television. Always funerals. We want to see something other than funerals. No, she felt it was a beautiful letter. It was very well received by him, and she did ask me to say, she would love to see this end. She would love to see it end, and she. Says it very openly, very proudly, and with great sorrow because so many people have been killed.
Mr. President, last week,
Brian, go ahead, Brian.
Yes, sir. I've got a question for each of you.
Yes.
First of all, Mr. President Zelenskyy, you look fabulous in that suit.
I said the same thing.
Yeah, you look good.
I said the same thing.
Yeah, looks good.
I said the one that attacked you last time. See, now he's I remember that.
I apologize to you. You look wonderful. No, my first question for you, President Zelenskyy.
In the same suit. You see, I changed, you are not.
Maybe yours is much better. Real quickly, upon peace, God willing we get peace, are you open to holding an election in your country?
Yes, of course. We are open for election, yes. We have to do safety circumstances.
What a dumb fuck. I hate that question.
In the parliament, because during the war you can't have elections, but we can.
They're in a war.
Do security.
They've been invaded.
Maybe, how to say, we need a truth. Yes. Everywhere, in the battlefield, in the sky, in the sea, yeah.
Let this guy play out his freaking his war dream.
Democratic, open, legal.
How he wants. Like, I'm fairly fine with that. I think he's an idiot, but
During the war, you can't have elections.
No, I know.
So let me just say, 3.5 years from now. So you mean if we happen to be in a war with somebody, No more elections. Oh, it's good. I wonder what the fake
You like
news
this
is.
idea?
Yeah.
No.
Speaking of news, I got a question for you.
I think when you're being invaded or you're the one starting a war, you know,
really doesn't even want a peace
elections
deal
are a joke.
because they've seen they've been so critical of you every step of the way as you lead the charge for peace.
It's an amazing phenomenon. I said that if in the settlement you got Moscow, St. Petersburg, and thousands of miles around them, they would say I made a bad deal. The level of hatred and animosity is incredible. Not with all. I mean, we have great people up here. We also have terrible people up there that I think are told what to say. But, you know, in solving all of these wars, they don't even write about it. You know, I saw major wars. I saw wars that have been going on for 31, 35, and 37, and a couple of quicker ones. One that was going to go into a full-blown deal very quickly. You know what the one I'm talking about. It was a big one. But they don't even write about that. No matter what I do, no matter what, and you know, this is not anything to do with you. It's probably to your advantage in a certain way. But no matter what I do, no matter what deal I make, from my standpoint, you'll come out good. Maybe President Putin will come out good. But they'll say, Trump was absolutely horrible. It's just that, and I've lived with that for a long time. I've lived with it since just before the first election. I used to get great publicity. Now I get the worst publicity anyone's ever gotten in office, but I won in a landslide, so that people understand. They're the only ones that count, ultimately. But I've also had great reporters. I've had journalists that are very good. But it's very sad when you do the right thing. As an example, they said, because of the fact that Vladimir Putin came to American soil, this was a tremendous defeat for Donald Trump. No, it was really wonderful that he did it. It was a hard
Yeah, those people are
to
idiots.
be honest with you. It was the opposite of what they said, but they said it. Now, if he didn't come, they'd say that was also bad for Trump. You know, there's no way. And
You just can't make them
there's
types
just
of
a
people
great
happy.
dishonesty of the press, and I think that's why it's lost its credibility. You know, its credibility is at an all-time low. We have a thing going on right now in D.C. We went from the most unsafe place anywhere to a place that now friends are calling me up, Democrats are calling me up, and they're saying, sir, I want to thank you. My wife and I went out to dinner last night for the first time in 4 years, and Washington, D.C. is safe, and you did that in 4 days. I'll tell you, it's safe. I had another friend of mine, he has a son.
Yeah, it's amazing when you enforce the law,
And he came in for
how
yesterday in the big
lawbreakers
tournament.
don't break the law.
Great shot. And he said his son is going to dinner in Washington, D.C. tonight. I said, would you have allowed that to happen a year ago? He said, no way. No way. He said, what you've done is incredible. And I think the people realize it. But the press says, he's a dictator. He's trying to take over. No, all I want is security for our people. But people that haven't gone out to dinner in Washington, D.C. in 2 years are going out to dinner. And the restaurants the last 2 days were busier than they've been in a long time.
Sir,
Thank
I
you.
walked around yesterday with MTG. If you can walk around with D.C. with MTG and not be attacked, the city is safe.
Thank you, Mr. President. Last week, you warned of what you called severe consequences if a 30-day ceasefire or any type of ceasefire were not agreed to by Russia. Will there be severe consequences? Does that change because of
I
your
don't
meeting
think you
with
need a
President Putin?
ceasefire. You know, if you look at the 6 deals that I settled this year, they were all at war. I didn't do any ceasefires. And I know that it might be good to have, but I can also understand strategically why, well, you know, one country or the other wouldn't want it. You have a ceasefire and they rebuild and rebuild and rebuild, and, you know, maybe they don't want that. But if you look at the 6 deals that we made peace and you know, long-term, long-running wars, I didn't do any ceasefires. Would I like the concept, you know, I like the concept of a ceasefire for one reason, because you'd stop killing people immediately, as opposed to in 2 weeks or 1 week or whatever it takes. But we can work a deal where we're working on a peace deal while they're fighting. They have to fight. I wish they could stop. I'd like them to stop. But strategically, that could be a disadvantage for one side or the other. But all of these deals I made without even the mention of the words ceasefire.
President Zelenskyy, can you explain the decision to offer Ukraine Article 5-like security guarantees, but stop short of pushing for their full membership?
Yeah, well, we haven't done anything on that yet. If you look back and you go back long before President Putin, it was always a statement that they would never allow Ukraine into NATO. So that was a statement that was made, but we haven't discussed any of that yet. We're going to be discussing it today, but we will give them very good protection, very good security. That's part of it. And the people that are waiting for us, they are, I think they're very like-minded. They want to help out also.
Thank you, President. Thank you, President Trump.
Are you disappointed there's no ceasefire, President?
The United States has already given hundreds of billions of dollars to this war effort in Ukraine. At best, it is a stalemate, and the killing continues.
Yeah, 100%.
So, President Trump, how much more is the United States willing to give Ukraine? And President Zelensky, how much more do you want?
Well, I'll start off just by saying we're not giving anything now. We're selling weapons. This is something before, I guess the number is well over $300 billion. That was under Joe Biden, a corrupt politician.
Yes, 100%.
Never was. By the way, go back 40 years. He was not a smart man 40 years ago either. But now he's in particular bad. This was done by a corrupt administration that shouldn't have been in, and frankly, if the right results of the election were given, if I were president, this war would have never taken place, and he would have been very happy because he would have liked to have seen. I mean, they went through hell. He went through hell. This war would have never happened, and the people that were killed, a couple of million people, a lot of people with soldiers and everything else, and the people that have been displaced and forced into other areas and other countries because of what's happened, none of that would have happened. And I'm just saying that he was a horrible president, whether it was the borders or this. He was just a horrible, corrupt president.
Mr.
President, you want to answer?
I can. Thank you so much. So first of all, we have possibility now to buy weapon from the United States. We are thankful for this program and this opportunity. We are thankful for Europe.
They don't have any money.
Through NATO program, for example, Pearl and etc. We have some programs where we can have some money to finance this, and this is a part.
Not their own money.
It's not a part for the war and to defend us. It also will be a part for security guarantees, to strengthen our army, to rearm Ukrainian army. This is very, very important. And it depends how much money we need to rearm. For example, the question of air defense, we spoke about it with President Trump, and I'm happy that we have now bilateral decisions and we work on it.
Yeah. Okay.
Europe has so many air defense like Patriots, for example. We need it very much, and this is also about defending.
I think the good news, we make the best military equipment in the world by far. You mentioned the Patriots. How good are they?
Systems.
We have systems. They're literally 100% foolproof, and it's really like shooting two bullets. You know, two bullets hitting each other in the air in a space like this. The chances, 100%. It's 99 to 100%. So we sell the equipment to NATO. And NATO does what, I don't know what the arrangement is that you have with, but I know that they want you to have the equipment. And we're getting the best equipment in the world, but they pay us for the equipment. Under Biden, it was just crazy what was going on. I believe the number is over 300. I think it could be $350 billion worth of equipment and money and everything else. And we've made more progress in settling this war in the last 2 months than they made in 4 years. This should have been settled a long time ago, but it should have never happened. Yeah, please.
Real quickly, you pushed out on social media.
All right, Brian, go first.
You pushed out on social media about doing away with mail-in ballots and potentially electronic voting machines. Can you expand on that and how important
Well, that's a very off-topic, just really quickly. Mail-in ballots are corrupt. Mail-in ballots, you can never have a real democracy with mail-in ballots. And we, as a Republican Party, are going to do everything possible that we get rid of mail-in ballots. We're going to start with an executive order that's being written right now by the best lawyers in the country to end mail-in ballots because they're corrupt and you know that we're the only country in the world, I believe, I may be wrong, but just about the only country in the world that uses them because of what's happened. Massive fraud all over the place. The other thing we want change are the machines. For all of the money they spend, it's approximately 10 times more expensive than paper ballots. And paper ballots are very sophisticated with the watermark paper and everything else. We would get secure elections. We'd get much faster results. The machines, I mean, they say we're going to have the results in 2 weeks. With paper ballots, you have the results that night. Most people, but most people, many countries use paper ballots. It's the most secure form. So between paper ballots, very, very important, paper ballots, and I think maybe even more important, the mail-in voting. We're going to end mail-in voting. It's a fraud. If you have mail-in vote, even Jimmy Carter with this commission, they set it up. He said the one thing about mail-in voting, you will never have an honest election if you have mail-in. And it's time that the Republicans get tough and stop it because the Democrats want it. It's the only way they can get elected. Because with men and women's sports and with transgender for everybody and open borders and all of the horrible things, and now the new thing is they love crime. They're fighting me on the fact that I've made Washington, D.C. safe. We're not going to get mugged, beaten up, or killed like all the people you've been watching get so badly hurt. I'm glad, I hate to take your time with this, but I'm glad you asked me that question. Sorry. We're going to stop mail-in ballots because it's corrupt. You know, when you go to a voting booth and you do it the right way and you go to a state that runs it properly, you go in, they even ask me. They asked me for my license plate, for identity. I said, I don't know if I have it. They said, sir, you have to have it. I was very impressed, actually. But it's very hard to cheat with mail-in voting. As you know what happens in California, it's so corrupt, where some people get 5, 6, 7 ballots delivered to them. Now, we got to stop mail-in voting, and the Republicans have to lead the charge. The Democrats want it because they have horrible policy. If you have mail-in voting, you're not going to have many Democrats get elected. That's bigger than anything having to do with redistricting, believe me. And the Republicans have to get smart. We're not going to have a country. I said for a long time at rallies,
we just need to abolish the Democrat Party.
And you need free and fair elections. Those two things. Otherwise, you don't have. We have strong.
Yeah, this is way off topic.
In 90 days, Mr. President, we didn't have 1, 0, 0, and 3 months. Not one person came in illegally into our country. In fact, even I find that hard to believe, but it's run by a little bit of a liberal group that put out the numbers, so I guess it's, but 0, 0, and 0. You go back a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 millions of people poured into our country. It was terrible. Thank you very much.
What security guarantees do you need from President Trump to be able to make a deal? Is it American troops, intelligence, equipment? What is it?
Everything. And really, it's inclusive.
Never.
First, strong Ukrainian army. That's what I began to discuss with your colleagues. And it's a lot about weapon and people and training missions and intelligence. And second, we will discuss with our partners. It depends on the big countries, on the United States, on a lot of our friends.
And Mr. President, are you willing to commit American troops to that NATO-like protection in order to get President Zelenskyy to a deal today?
Well, I don't know if you define it that way, but NATO-like, I mean, we're going to give, we have people waiting in another room right now. They're all here from Europe, biggest people in Europe, and they want to give protection. They feel very strongly about it, and we'll help them out with that. I think it's very important. I think it's very important to get the deal done.
Send somebody else's children to die for this.
What would you say
idiots
to the Ukrainian people right now who are suffering under the Russian attacks and hoping that the American people will stand with them?
Well, I know Ukrainian people. I've known many over the years. They're great people. They're smart. They're energetic. They love their country. I mean, they love their country, and we want to get this war ended. That's all I can do. I love the Ukrainian people, but I love all people. I love the Russian people. I love them all. I want to get the war stopped. Very important.
Mr. President, was there any aspect of your discussion with Vladimir Putin that left you disappointed?
Look, we just spoke to, I was just telling the president, I just spoke to President Putin indirectly, and we're going to have a phone call right after these meetings today. And we may or may not have a trilat. If we don't have a trilat, then the fighting continues. And if we do, we have a good chance. I think if we have a trilat, there's a good chance of maybe ending it. But he's expecting my call when we're finished with this meeting. Thank you very much, everybody.
All right, that was very interesting. That's for sure. Nah, the troops, no. I don't think we should give any support to Ukraine or Russia.
Będzie prośba Paralive potem, albo dwa nawet. Paralive. Słucham? Paralive. Paralive.
not seeing this statement. I saw a report about supposedly something the Russian Foreign Ministry said, but I don't see the statement myself. Let me see if I can find it here. All right, hold on. I can't find it. I saw a report claiming that the Russian Foreign Ministry said something about the possibility of U.S. or European troops in Ukraine, but I can't find the original statement. Germany's Chancellor Merz is supposed to have a news conference after the meeting. By the way, I don't know if any of it's going to be in English. We might have comments coming up from the different participants. Possibly. Thanks to Jonathan Morris, our member. Replay the Ducey question. I think maybe at the end I'll replay all the questions. What I might do is I might try to take a minute and grab a quick snack if I can. You know, I need a minute anyway. Give me about 2 minutes. I'm going to take 2 minutes myself, and then I'll come back in 2 minutes. As we wait for the European leaders to leave and maybe people to say more. Give me about 2 minutes. Now I'm coming back, and we'll continue. I'll leave the camera up for you. Give me 2 minutes. I'm coming back. Thanks for your patience. What I'm going to do in a couple minutes, I'm just heating up some food, is I'm going to take about, in a couple minutes, if they're not done, I'll take about 5 minutes and have a little snack, because I haven't eaten anything. But for now, we're waiting for the meeting to end. And then if we hear anything from the participants after. Checking for other updates as well. Thanks to PZ Papa Zulu for your support. I'm supposed to have video of the press conference by Chancellor Merz after. Thanks Social Corruption for your support on Twitch. So, hold on a second. Oh, Merz, I guess it is pronounced Merz, one of the viewers says. Wikipedia says that too. Thank you. Merz. I don't know that there's been any huge developments today. Like, I don't know that I can say, I mean, nothing seems to have gone that badly. The participants have been talking in a positive fashion. I don't know that there's been any kind of huge update. I'll say that President Trump said he wants to have a trilateral meeting with Putin and Zelenskyy. He wants to schedule that after this. Evelyn in Maine says, so far so good. I don't know of anything that's super bad that happened. iPod says very cordial but nothing specific. I agree with that. We have not gotten details of specifics really that they've discussed. Oh, thanks. Dawn Adair messaged me about the Kremlin statement. Where is this? But where? See, I was looking. I see that post about the Kremlin statement, but I went to RIA Novosti, where it's supposedly from, and I didn't see it there. So yeah, I'm not sure about that statement. I have to find the original source. Oh, I have it. I got it right here. Yes, the Kremlin said, oh, on their website. I checked their website. One moment. Is it in Russian? Oh, maybe it's in the Russian language version of their stuff. I bet that's it. I'm really confused. Supposedly, the Russian Foreign Ministry said something about them not wanting NATO troops in Ukraine. I can't find the statement. Is it here? I have no idea where it is. Yeah, that's my problem. I can't find the actual. I see reports about the statement, but I don't see the statement itself. Well, anyways, if I find it, I'll let you know. I'm not going to spend endless time looking for it. Yeah, I saw some different outlets post about the statement, but I can't find the original statement. So, I want to see it for myself. One outlet said it was on the Russian Foreign Ministry website, but I went there and I couldn't find it anywhere. Oh, so I'm seeing it. Okay, I'm seeing it again. Another article talks about it. Where is it? So I'm gonna. A bunch of publications are reporting on this at this point. So at this point, I'm going to report it. Okay. So the statement that Russia supposedly said, that I'm seeing a lot of different outlets say they said, is you can see on the Institute for the Study of War post here. We reaffirm our repeatedly voiced position on our categorical rejection of any scenarios that envisage the appearance in Ukraine of a military contingent with the participation of NATO countries. So that is something that is being discussed by the US and Europe and allies. Russia's saying they won't go for it. Will they ultimately go for it? I have no idea. But the New York Times reported the same statement. I couldn't find the original version, but I'm pretty confident it's real. The Times reported it, and also Turkish state media reported it as well. Oh, I don't know if this is true. Yeah, what is this here? I would be careful about this story. Is this? Where is it? I don't even want to mention it. I saw some rumor online that I haven't seen any kind of reliable reporting on. All right, we're waiting for them to finish up and then see what happens. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to rapidly eat a snack. I'm going to run in the other room and eat a snack. That's what I'm going to do because I haven't eaten anything. And we're going to keep covering this. I'll be better once I've eaten something. So I need about 5 minutes, okay? I need about 5 minutes. All right, guys? Give me that. and I'll leave this footage up, but then I'll be better because I'll have eaten something. All right, so hang on a moment. I'm coming right back in about 5 minutes.
Gym class.
Zelenskyy non ha ancora lasciato la Casa Bianca, siamo qui in attesa e sarebbe il segnale che il meeting, il summit è terminato. Sopra quanto riguarda il prossimo step, il prossimo passo, difficile capire quando avverrà questo bilaterale, perché Trump, quando ha menzionato la questione di una settimana, 2 settimane, parlava proprio della fine della tanto c'è un computerino lì appoggiato su un desktop, sul mouse mio, nel tuo. È una storia lunga, però lo capirai. Adesso piove, quindi, però è tipo un bancone dove ci appoggiano i giornalisti e i fotografi, e l'ho fatto un po'. Dai, ciao, ciao.
All right, I know that was longer than 5 minutes. I apologize, but I did eat. So we're now back. Hang on one sec here. It took longer than I thought. I was hungry. I hadn't eaten really all day, so I ate, and now I'm good to go. Now I'm definitely good to go. So, thanks for your patience. One second. Now, the European leaders and Zelenskyy are still meeting with Trump. I don't know how long that's going to go. Yeah, you know, there's this... Oh, hold on a second here. You know, I'm seeing this story go around online, and I don't have a lot of confidence in it. I don't know if it's one of these things where everybody starts quoting everybody else, and you're like, well, who has the real story? There's this rumor floating around online that Trump wanted to call Putin while the other representatives were there. I don't know that that's true. And who's, you know what I'm saying? I've been seeing, so Sky News said it was according to a new report in Germany. Oh, and then, okay. Oh, no, this is a different report. I'm sorry. This is a different report. Bild Germany is claiming that Trump interrupted talks with Europeans for a phone call with Putin. No joke. That is what Bild is reporting right now. AZ Intel mentioned that as well. Thanks, AZ Intel, for posting that. So, Bild Germany is claiming, they say their reporter says that Trump